Systematic investment plans (SIPs) are one of the best ways to build wealth over time. But sometimes you may wonder, should I stop my SIP? Is it the right decision or am I reacting to market fluctuations? Is my SIP actually on track but I am second guessing it? Or am I stopping for a valid reason or just panicking? Many investors make impulsive decisions like this without fully understanding the long-term impact. So before you hit pause on SIP, let's explore 5 valid reasons when stopping your SIP actually makes sense and when you should stay invested. Let us find out through an in-depth analysis. Hi, welcome to holisticinvestment.in, where we simplify the world of personal finance for individual investors like you. So reason number 1, you started SIP without proper knowledge. This is time to re-evaluate. So have you ever invested in an SIP because a friend or relative recommended it, or you saw an ad or heard about high returns, or it was a trending fund and you didn't want to miss out? If so, you are not alone. Many investors start SIPs without fully understanding them. So what you should know about SIPs before starting them? First of all, SIPs work best in the long run. Stopping due to short-term losses defeats the purpose. Number 2, market dips are normal and SIPs are designed to average out market fluctuations over time. And SIPs require patience because wealth creation takes time. So what are the common SIP myths? Let's bust them. So first of all, SIP guarantees profits is a myth. No, it just helps you ride out volatility. SIP eliminates all risk. No, fund selection still matters. SIP is only for equity funds. No, you can use SIPs for debt and hybrid funds too. Next, you can't modify your SIP. No, you can decrease, increase or stop it anytime. So what should you do instead of stopping your SIP? First of all, assess your risk tolerance. Are you comfortable with market fluctuations? And then check if your investment horizon aligns with the fund strategy. Are you invested for the right time frame? Then seek an expert advice like a professional consultation from a certified financial planner who can help you to decide whether to switch funds or to stay invested. Then consider shifting to a better fund instead of stopping your SIP completely. Now let's take a look at the second reason. You might have entered the wrong fund. Not all SIPs are created equal. So how do you know if you have picked the wrong fund? Your risk level doesn't match the fund. Are you in a high risk small cap fund when you wanted stability? Or are you in an equity fund when you needed a short-term debt fund, like your goals just don't align? And you can unknowingly pick a sectoral or thematic fund because these funds can be highly volatile as well. So before answering these questions, ask yourself, did you pick the right one? Because there is a difference between active funds and passive funds, and we have pointed them out on the screen through a tabular column based on aspects like management, fees, risk. Like active funds have manager who actively makes the decision for that fund, but a passive fund simply tracks an index. And in terms of fees, active funds have a higher expense ratio and passive funds have a lower expense ratio. And in risk, active funds have higher risk due to fund manager's decision, and in passive funds the risk is a little bit lower as it follows an index. So how to correct course? You can switch to a fund that actually matches your financial goals instead of stopping your SIP. You can also review your portfolio regularly to ensure it's on track, and you can consult with a CFP to get expert guidance on fund selection. Now let's move on to reason number 3. The fund manager's performance might not be meeting your expectations. Like if you are invested in an actively managed fund, the fund manager's decision directly impact your returns. But what if they aren't delivering result? Is the fund consistently underperforming compared to its benchmark? Has the fund manager changed and is the performance declining? Is the fund's expense ratio too high compared to its return? So what to do instead of stopping your SIP? First of all, compare your fund's performance against its benchmark and category average. And then if underperformance still continues for 3+ years, then consider switching to a better fund. If the fund manager has changed, observe for a few quarters before making a decision. Now, reason number 4. Your financial goals might have changed. Is your SIP still the right fit? Because life is unpredictable and so are your financial priorities. The SIP you started 5 years ago may have been the perfect back then for your financial goals. But does it still align with where you are today? Have your life circumstances changed? Are your financial priorities different now? Is your current SIP helping you reach your new goals? If you answer to any of these questions as no, it might be time to reassess your portfolio. Let us take a look at how your investment objectives might evolve over time. First of all, because of young investors, like a SIP might be focused on aggressive wealth creation, and your priorities might shift to securing a home loan or building a safety net after like marriage and having a family. And you may also need to move away from high risk equity funds if you're approaching requirement. And you can have unexpected expenses like a medical emergency or sudden financial need may require a shift to more liquid and stable investment. So the key question is, does your current SIP strategy reflect these changes and how to align with your SIP with your new financial goals? Step number 1, reassess your financial objectives. What was your original goal and how has it changed? Step number 2, compare your current SIP portfolio with your new financial needs. Does it still make sense? Step number 3, adjust your risk exposure accordingly. If your risk tolerance has changed, consider reallocating instead of stopping. Step number 4, plan for upcoming life events like education, home purchase, requirement, because your investment approach should adapt to these transitions. So what are the alternatives to stopping your SIP completely in this scenario? One, you can modify your SIP amount, like reduce or increase contributions instead of stopping. And you can even switch to a fund that aligns with your revised financial goals, because you can move to a more stable or aggressive fund as needed. And you can also use a goal based investing approach. You can ensure your investments stay on track while adjusting allocations. So instead of stopping your SIP abruptly, explore smarter ways to adapt to your changing needs. So now let's take a look at the reason number 5, where your fund performance is consistently poor. So should you exist? Not all mutual funds perform well in the long run. But how do you differentiate between temporary market dips and genuine underperformance? Is your fund's performance below expectations for a long time, or other funds in the same category doing much better? Is your fund's expense ratio too high, eating into your returns? If you are experiencing consistent underperformance, it's time to take a closer look. When should you be concerned about poor performance? Returns consistently below the benchmark for 3+ years and peers in the same category outperform your fund, or high expense ratio reducing net returns, or declining assets under management where investors are pulling out, or your portfolio allocation has changed affecting performance. These are some places where you should be concerned about poor performance. So what is the difference between market cycle where there is genuine underperformance? First of all, market corrections are temporary. So short-term dips are normal. But if your fund is underperforming for 1 or 2 years, maybe the fund is going through a rough patch. Or if it's underperforming for 3+ years, then it's time to consider switching. So how to evaluate a fund's performance? First, compare returns with the benchmark and category peers. Then check risk-adjusted returns with Sharpe ratio or Sortino ratio. Then assess portfolio turnover, like frequent changes can indicate instability. And then review your standard deviation and beta to understand the volatility levels. So what is the final takeaway from this video? Stopping your SIP is a big decision that can impact your long-term wealth creation. Before you make a move, ask yourself, are my concerns temporary or a real investment mismatch? Would adjusting my investment strategy be a better alternative, or am I making an informed choice or reacting emotionally? So instead of guessing, why not consult an expert? A certified financial planner can help you analyze your portfolio and spot weak areas, and can even suggest better alternatives rather than stopping your SIP, and help you align your investments with your changing financial goals. So don't risk your wealth by making impulsive decisions. And if you need professional guidance like this, then click the link in the description to book a free consultation with a CFP today. And if you like this video, give it a like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.
You can definitely check out the blog post we have posted on our website through the link in the description. And if you want to gain more professional guidance through a professional financial planner, you can choose to book a one-on-one complimentary consultation with one of our professional financial planner through the link in the description. Also, if you want to gain more investment and financial insights through the leading experts in the finance industry, we also conduct regularly free live webinars through which you can register and gain these insights. The link is in the description. Also, if you like this video, definitely hit like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can come up with more such financially beneficial content for you. Thank you for watching.